Good day, ma'am. I am John Miles Ibalye and I will discuss the 9 questions that you given to us. Number 1. What is array? An array is a data structure that stores a fixed size, sequential collection of elements of the same type. It is used to store multiple values in a single variable instead of declaring separate variables for each value. What are the different types of array? There are 3 kinds of arrays: the index arrays, multi-dimensional arrays, and associative arrays. The index arrays store a series of one or more values. The first index is always 0. You can create an index arrays by calling the array class constructor or by initializing the array with an array literal. An associative array, which is like an object, is made of unordered keys and values. Associated array use key instead of numeric index to organize stored values. Each key is a unique string and it's associated with and used to access one value. That value can be a data type such as number, array, object, and so on. When you create code to find a value that associated with a key, you're indexing or performing a lookup, which is the most typical reason for using an associated array. An associated array. So multi-dimensional arrays, also known as nested arrays, are very similar to matrices or grids. When you're programming, you might use multi-dimensional arrays to model this kind of structure. So number 3, how to declare a single dimension array. In declaring single dimension array, there are rules that you need to follow, such as array index always starts from 0. Each array element stored in a separate memory location. An array variable must be declared before being used in program. The declaration must have a data type, int, float, char, and double variable name and subscript. The subscript represents the size of the array. If the size is declared as 10 programmers can store 10 elements. Here is the example declaring and initializing values to the array name ER or type int containing 10 elements. So ERR 10 because 10 elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And here's some example program demonstrating one-dimensional array in C++. This is the example of Then this is the sample output of this program. This is the simple output. This is the simple output of this program. This is the code. And this is the result. Number 4. How to declare a double dimension array. two-dimension array is the simplest form of a multi-dimension array. We can see a two-dimension array as an array of one-dimensional array for easier to understanding. The basic form of declaring a two-dimensional array of size x and y. So, this is the example of basic form of declaring two-dimensional array. This example. Data slash type array slash name x and y. Data type of data to be stored, valid C or C++ data. C++ data type. There are two ways in which a two-dimensional array can be initialized. There are two ways in which a two-dimensional array can be initialized. So, first method, int x. This is the example of the first method. The better method, int x elements in two-dimensional arrays are accessed using the row index and column index. So, example number 3. Example, int x, column 2, column 1. In array's life, size of array is n. In arrays in the size of arrays is n. Its index will be from 0 to n equals 1. Therefore, for now, index row number is 2 plus 1 equals 3. Number 5. How to declare a multi-dimensional array. In C programming, you can create an array of arrays. These arrays are known as multi-dimensional arrays. The general form of a multi-dimensional array's declaration is declaration. Example, type name, size 1 and size 2, and so on so far. So example number 3. Int 3dim or three-dimensional int 3-dimensional 5, 10, or 4. Float times float x, 3, and 4. So here x is a two-dimensional array. The arrays can hold 12 elements because 3 multiplied by 4 is equals to 12. So it can hold 12 elements. Sample number 3. Float y 2, 4, and 3. Here, the array Y can hold 24 elements simply because 2 multiplied by 4 and 3 is equals to 24. Number 6. How to initialize an element to a single dimension array. When an array is declared inside a function, the elements of the array have garbage value. If an array is a global or static, then its elements are automatically initialized to 0. We can explicitly initialize elements of an array of the time of declaration using the following syntax. This is the following syntax. Data type, array, name, size, value 1, 2, 3, and value n. To initialize an element to a double dimension array. To initialize a 2D array, you just need 2 rested for loops, just like this example. In 2-dimensional array like int, subscript primes equals new int subscript 3 subscript 2. There are 3 rows and 2 columns. 3 rows and 2 columns. You can also visualize it like 3 integer arrays of length 2. You can find the number of rows using numbers, length, and number of columns using numbers, subscript 0. So the output is int 3 rows and 2 columns. So here at the answer for question number 8 and 9 on how to output and input an array. In C program, to insert an element in an array, for example, consider an array A subscript 10 having 3 elements in its initial and A subscript 0 equals 1, A subscript 1 equals 2, and A subscript 2 equals 3. And you want to insert a number 45 at location 1, I.E that A subscript 0 equals 45. So we have to move elements one step below. So after insertion, A subscript 1 equals 1, which was A subscript 0 initially, and A subscript 2 equals 2, and A subscript 3 equals 3. Array insertion does not mean increasing its size. IA array will not contain 11 elements.